Now, in some business news, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says that 30,000 metric tons of petrol imported from a Chinese corporation was of substandard quality.
And issuing a communique, CPETCO noted that the corporation in question has been informed to provide a replacement stock of petrol.
CPETCO says that 30,000 tons of 90-octane petrol, which was part of a 40,000-ton stock imported from the Singapore-based PetroChina Corporation, was of substandard quality. Petroleum industry trade unions charge that CPETCO has failed to take any measures against corporations that supply substandard fuel. 3 months ago, substandard 95-octane petrol was imported. It was the same China Petroleum Corporation that handed over the 30,000 tons of 90-octane petrol to CPETCO. Now they have been informed to send a replacement stock of 30,000 tons in place of the substandard 30,000 tons. If this company is being asked to send a replacement stock and is not facing a prohibition and is not being asked to pay compensation, then the process is highly irregular. Or it is clear that there is some kind of a formula that suppresses us from taking action against this company. 120,000 metric tons of crude oil rejected. 10,000 metric tons of petrol rejected. A number of vehicles experienced technical failure owing to substandard fuel. 20,000 metric tons of diesel rejected. 25,000 metric tons of petrol imported from the Enoch Corporation rejected. What belies the unabated supply of substandard fuel to this nation?
Meanwhile, at a media briefing convened by the Movement for Unity Through Power Devolution, the leader of the National Unity Alliance, Azad Salih, also commented on stocks of substandard fuel being imported into the country.
They have brought down another stock of rotten petrol. They bring down rotten petrol and diesel. The Petroleum Corporation says that this cannot be used. The minister then says that it is okay. The petrol is rotten, and once the payment is made, it suddenly becomes good. The diesel is rotten, but once the payment is made, it becomes good. But the vehicles break down on the roads. There hasn't been a government in the history of this nation that has been as corrupt and thieving as this government.
Other party leaders at this media briefing expressed the following views.
If there is a clause which says that land powers can only be given for management and development, if there is a decision that has been made for the same, then the clause must be amended and steps taken to grant complete land powers. Requests have been made regarding this by and through the documents of that alliance. This clause has been inserted in a corner of that constitution. As the Movement for Unity Through Power Devolution, we will continue to strongly demonstrate for the full implementation of this entire section of the constitution and the granting of proper police and land powers. India knows better than these people do that the creation of a separate Tamil state in Sri Lanka is harmful to Indian national security interests. Thereby this will never happen. Therefore no one here should be calling for blood. The era of calling for Tamil blood for Tamil nationalism, Sinhalese blood for Sinhalese nationalism, and Muslim blood for Muslim nationalism has come to an end. Thereby I wish to ask that we move forward.
Now, in more local news, 5 petitions that were filed against the election manifesto of the Tamil National Alliance for the Northern Provincial Council polls was taken up at the Supreme Court today.
The petitions were filed by 5 persons, including Dr. Gunadasa Amarasekara and Venerable Bengamwe Nalakathera of the Patriotic National Movement.
The petitions point out that the elections manifesto presented by the Tamil National Alliance for the Northern Provincial Council polls hints at creating a separate state.
එනිසා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා මේ ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවට පටහැනි
We believe that the courts will declare that the TNA's election manifesto is in violation of the constitution.
දෙයක් හැටියට ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරාවි කියලා.
Attorneys appearing on behalf of the Tamil National Alliance informed court that they will present primary objections to these petitions. The objection read that the TNA is not a registered political party and that according to the constitution, it is not possible to proceed with the petitions. We presented primary objections stating that the 5 petitions were written incorrectly and taking into consideration the manner in which it was filed, it is not possible to proceed. The Supreme Court provided a period of 2 weeks to file the objections in writing and ordered for hearings on the 23rd of October.
ඔක්තෝබර් 23 වෙනිදාව නියම කරලා තියෙන්නේ දැන්.
There was a view that one should take oaths in the presence of the governor. We pointed out that according to the constitution, oaths can be taken in the presence of anyone. The governor accepted it. After accepting it, the appointment letter was given and he would assume duties after taking oaths. So we have not reached a decision as to before whom he should take oaths.
දිවුරුන් දෙන්න ඕනේ කියන තීරණය තාම අපි අරගෙන නැහැ මේ ජනාධිපති ඉදිරියේ දිවුරුන් දීමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
We will announce it after we reach a decision. How can we say anything before making a decision?
නැහැ කියලා. මේ හරි වැඩක් නේ.
Today, the world marks the 144th birth anniversary of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the Indian independence hero, father of the nation and pioneer in non-violent civil disobedience.
Employing non-violent civil disobedience, Gandhi led India to independence and inspired movements of civil rights and freedom across the world.
Tonight on our segment Words of Wisdom, we look at Mahatma Gandhi's now famous thoughts on changing the world.
You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. At least 25 statues of Lord Buddha were looted from the Portugal Vihara in Mavanala by a group of persons.
Apart from the statues of Lord Buddha, 3 caskets were also stolen. A monk who came into the vihara in the morning realized that the caskets were missing. Our correspondent said that the desecration had taken place last night and that a white marble Buddha statue was among the stolen items. This temple was constructed in the 1820s. Last night, statues of Lord Buddha and caskets were stolen from the temple. We consider these items as items that were present when the temple was founded. The police say that investigations have commenced into the incident. Yet another act of the desecration of a place of worship.
That was yet another act of desecration of a place of worship that was reported from Mavanala.
Yes, that's right. Now moving on, Karavala Gaswava in Putlam is an area that is blighted with the threat of wild elephant incursions. Last week, wild elephants damaged a vihara in the area.
Wild elephants had damaged the Sanghavasaya or monastery of the Rajavigama Rajamaha Vihara last week. Villagers say that the pachyderms have been emboldened and now roam around settlements freely, even during the daytime. About 100 families were now residing in the Nelumgama area in Karuvala Gaswava after their homes were claimed for the Dadroe scheme are facing a similar problem. We did not come to this jungle of our own accord. Even the Gramanildari does not know that there are people residing here. The people living here have only seen elephants in Paraharas prior to this. People have been brought to this village and left despondent. We have been cornered. For about 3 to 4 months now, they have killed people and caused massive property damage. Villagers also say that they are provided insufficient firecrackers to scare away the elephants. The elephant problem has aggravated. We need a permanent solution. Even if politicians come here, they lie to us and then go away. Within the next 3 to 4 days, they will damage the other houses here as well. This is a major issue for us. They have damaged the temple. This is a national crime. When lands are given to farmers for chain cultivation, the elephants too are aware that there are people here. Then they move away. As a result of the prohibition of this, the elephants are even inside the homes. This is all jungle. In a short period of time, they will be in the center of the village.
Up next is Action TV.
At a media briefing convened at the Ministry of Education today, it was revealed that certain decisions that were taken with regard to the Grade 5 scholarship examination in August were based on the conclusions and recommendations of child psychologists. If this is true, then there is a certain incident of enforcement to which some children have been subjected to in the education system, which should be brought to the attention of these child psychologists. On World Children's Day yesterday, these 28 children were subject to the aforementioned act of enforcement for which they were incidentally psychologically bribed. The children happily left home yesterday, saying that they were being taken to a film screening by their school. A little while later, we received a message from school asking us to come to the school. When we got to the school, we received notice that the children had been removed from the school. These students who were taken to a film screening and then issued their leaving certificates upon their return to the school are a group of 28 grade 6 students from the Deltara Junior School in Piliandala and the Batuantara Junior School. This was a byproduct of the decision to restructure the Philip Artigala Vidyalaya in Madapatha as a secondary school. As tributary schools of Philip Artigala Vidyalaya, in addition to the two aforementioned schools, junior schools in Makandana, Karpala and Dampe were also selected. However, education authorities were made to remove the Makandana and Karpala junior schools from the program as a result of the continuous struggle by parents to show the practical hardships that their children would face as a result of these schools being turned into primary schools. 2 of these 28 children have a very minimal chance of getting into another school. This is because these 2 children have, regardless of their appearance, received special attention and support from the teachers at the Deltara Junior School from the day they commenced their schooling. Attempts to turn this school, where the author of the national anthem, Anand Samarakon, was educated and which now bears his name, into a primary school on 2 prior occasions for contradictory reasons, were also foiled through the protest of parents. The fact that these children were issued their leaving certificates yesterday without even being given a hint as to where they should go to school next is evidence that a vicious program to scourge the education system of the weak is underway. Will the support of child psychologists be sought to impartially inquire into this program once the horse has left the stable? Secretary to the Ministry of Education, this is over to you.
And now moving to some sports news, it's cricket, well, Indo cricket. Sri Lanka recorded a win in the opening match of the Indo Cricket League, which commenced today.
The ICL was telecast live on MTV Sports.
Sri Lanka took on India in the first match and won the game 102 runs to 18. Sanjay Gongaravilla scored 21 runs for the hosts. Kolitha Nayanananda bagged 6 wickets for minus 26 runs. Meanwhile, the Australian cricket development team defeated the Sri Lanka cricket development team by minus 134 to 10. The Sri Lanka women's Indo cricket team also suffered defeat today. Batting first, the Australian women's team scored 151 runs in 16 overs. However, the Lankan women could only post 52 runs on the board.
Unfortunately, this is another deduction of 5.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News. It was a pleasure having you with us. I'm Nicola D'Zoiza.
And I'm Madhushka Balasuriya. But before we leave you, a quick look at tomorrow's weather forecast.
Good night.
Good night.
First at 9.
Hotline 0114 896 896.